Well, now you might have heard of these three letters being thrown around today. The UBI, it stands for Universal Basic Income, and Gareth Morgan's Opportunities Party reckons it's a vote winner. So what exactly is it?
Universal basic income is the fancy phrase for money paid by the government to every citizen, no questions asked, no strings attached. It could replace all current benefits, including super, streamlining social welfare and easing income inequality. And while it might sound like a licence to bludge, the theory goes unemployed people would be more inclined to find or create work without fear of answering to the government. Some of the biggest names in business love the idea of a UBI. They promise it would offset the impact of predicted job losses from automation and AI.
I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
This wouldn't come cheap though. A Treasury report found replacing all benefits with a UBI for all Kiwis over 16 would require income tax to shoot up to 55% across the board. Finland is trialling this right now. 2,000 Finns are getting a UBI of €560 every month for 2 years. Researchers are already finding that it reduces stress. Here, Labour has flirted with the idea but isn't going there yet.
No decisions have been made about whether there will be a UBI or what level it will be set at.
Now the Opportunities Party is proposing a limited UBI targeting 18 to 23-year-olds at $200 a week. But critics say a UBI would leave the worst off worse off.
The disadvantage with the universal basic income is that you cannot give as much money to the worst off as you can under targeted programs. It's just too expensive to give everybody the same amount of money that we're currently giving to those in most need.
So, is a universal basic income the one benefit to rule them all, or a pipe dream we just can't afford?
All right, we're joined now by the Opportunity Party's Deputy Leader, Jeff Simmons, and Executive Director of the Taxpayers Union, Jordan Williams. Jeff, you've announced a kind of UBI today for 18 to 23-year-olds. What's the cost and how are you going to pay for it?
Well, the cost is $2.4 billion, so it's roughly the same as the government's tax cut package, which has already been announced. And
what benefits is your UBI replacing? What will it replace?
So it will replace student allowances and the dole that currently exists for 18 to 23-year-olds. So everyone gets $200 a week, no questions asked.
Everyone gets $200 a week. So I guess my question is that why should someone smoking pot at home, unemployed, doing nothing, be paid for doing absolutely bugger all?
Well, I trust people to spend money in the way that works for them, Wallace. You know, we don't know what the future of work's going to look like, so we want to give people the freedom to set their own goals and pursue them.
Well, Jordan, look, this has been looked at overseas. It's been tried in Alaska, Ontario, India, Canada. Finland has got a 2-year study. It's working well there. Why don't you get with the future and support it here?
Yeah, well, a lot of our members and supporters quite like the idea of a UBI because it reduces the administrative burden or the churn of the tax system. The problem is the cost. It's actually this proposal is actually twice the cost of the recent National Party tax package. But what you see is a 11% reduction in workforce participation when they've tried this overseas. So it would actually mean that less young people would be incentivised to get into work. But what it actually means is rather than giving more to the people that need it most, you give less to a lot more people.
But Jordan,
the very obvious question is why should Max Key, Gareth Morgan or people that are very well off indeed.
But this idea, Jordan, just let me ask you, I mean, this issue has been around for a long time. Sir Bob Jones years ago talked about, you know, giving $100 to everybody and they can do what they like with it. So this is not really a left-right issue. This is an issue perhaps whose time has come.
Yeah, the problem is though, in order for you not to have losers, you need a UBI that's so high, it's incredibly expensive. We did the numbers on the initial proposal that Gareth Morgan's think tank were looking at, and actually you need a tax rate of about 50% to pay for it.
All right, Jeff.
This is totally affordable if you tax assets. That's the first point. And a UBI actually rewards work. When it's been done overseas, more people have actually ended up working because the current benefit system, when you earn money, you lose the benefit. So actually, beneficiaries face the highest tax rates in the country at the moment.
Jeff, let me me ask you, hang on, Jordan, hang on. Jeff, let me ask you, do you plan to extend this out from 18 to 23 to all the population one day? Would that be a policy of yours?
That definitely is the goal. We already have policies for over 65s to receive it and for parents with children, small children to receive it. So we see this progressing. The reason we chose 18 to 23-year-olds is obviously we have the highest rates of teen suicide in the world. And that is a real problem. And 1 in 6 of these people are not in education, employment or training. So this is really giving them a hand up.
All right, Jeff Simmons and Jordan Williams, thanks for joining us.
A whole lot to think about I do like the idea of a true universal basic income that extends to everyone. I mean, we kind of do it with superannuation already, don't we? We say you guys all get the same across the board, and I love the idea of lifting people out of poverty and removing all the shame and stuff that can come with welfare.
Interesting idea.
But I do not love the idea of paying 55% tax, and that's what it would cost.
You're shaking your head.
Because it's vote grubbing for silly people, really is, and this is what these opportunity guys, they're trying to make this whole system simple. Well, I'm telling you now, running the country is not simple. It's complicated.
In your experience of running the country,
it's difficult. They're trying to make it easy for themselves rather than thinking about what benefits everyone that needs it.
Yeah.